Well, good morning, everyone. How you doing today? Well, that's great to hear. We have an F150. So this one we've worked on before. We put a PDX B9, put in a new radio, that cool pack dash kit. Today it's in for us to finish. He's on a really tight schedule. He came in at like 1 o'clock. We had 1 to 6:30 to get the first half done. It's 1 o'clock today. So we have from 1 till 6:30 to get the second half done. So what are we doing for the second half? He's getting some Alpine X type speakers. We're doing some RoadKill along with some FastRings by RoadKill. So we're gonna be putting these on the front and the back along with RoadKill front and back. So what do you say we just get started on this? It's a lot of work and we gotta get done because, you know, we need to go home too. So without further ado, let's get this driver's door panel off and start working our way around the car. So for this, we're definitely gonna need a panel tool. Let's start by getting off the little sail fin that covers the mirror. There's a 7mm behind that. We're gonna go ahead and get this off. There is a little spot right here for your panel tool to dig into. One, two, three, four, five, 6 clips. This ain't ever falling off. We have 2 more 7mm behind here. Now these are fine thread screws with washers built into them, so they're a little different than this one up here. 2 more underneath the door panel here. For this guy right here, you need a right angle pick tool. Just kind of put it in from the side, work it down and pull it. You have 2 clips and 2 little locks here on the bottom. So you have 2 more screws with washers. So to sum it up, there's actually 3 different style screws holding this door together. You got these guys here, and the regular 7mm. Oh goody. Next you want to pull the door panel off. It's best to start up here in this top corner and just kind of work your way around. Alright, so on the back of the door, there's a harness here and a harness here. Standard push style, nothing too fancy. And you have this guy right here. This is a whole locking mechanism. On the bottom of it here, right here, the little thing, you just pull this down and lift up on it. And it's right here in the center of the door. Alright, so we'll go ahead and plug this back in because we're going to have to roll up and down the windows. So now we just have a clip down here in the bottom, and we have a bunch of 7mm screws. And this is your factory speaker. Standard size magnet on the back, 6x9 in the center. Let's go over to the bench. We'll take a look at what we're putting in. We have a bag of screws, a bunch of washers, some more screws, some zip ties, more screws, some double-sided tape. We also have some little tiny Alpine logos. These are pretty cool. We have a grill. We have some tape for the tweeters. We have the tweeter crossovers. These just slide forward like this, and inside we have the normal or reverse phase, as well as -3, 0, and +3 on the tweeter. So then when you're done, you just click it like that. We're gonna put our tweeter at -3. We have our tweeter. To get it apart, just twist and it comes apart. And then if you need to, you can also remove this. It's a little bit harder, but it will come off. And we have our cool mid base. We have a nice aluminum basket, neodymium magnet. It just looks really nice. Now for this install for the front doors, we're gonna be using the Metra 825606. Comes with some screws to actually screw the speakers in, and then on one side it has a plug here to run the wire through. It's gonna match the factory right here. These are what they look like. They're about the same depth, so this is gonna move the speaker up into the grill. Really nice, but it is physically bigger to fit the 6x9. This is just a little bit wider. So these are all the parts we're gonna use to do this install. Things we're gonna do is make sure we're gonna foam the front of this and the back of this for insulation. So now we're gonna head over and we're gonna RoadKill the door. All right, so the door has some existing sound deadening here. Not doing much good. It's also got some down here. For our speaker though, it has none. So we're gonna go ahead and fill that in. Whenever I do RoadKill, I wear gloves. This stuff is sharp. Alright, so that's one sheet of so now we're going to go ahead and cover these with some of the 1/2 inch foam. So this is called the Acoustic plug, and this is designed to mount in the door behind the speaker. So let's go ahead and get this in before we do this part. Alright, so there's a bar here, and we want to do is notch it in the back so that this will fit. So we're going to cut this side here. So there we go, we went ahead and let's go fit it in the car. As you see, making sure the window rolls up and down without hitting this is key. So keep trimming it until the glass or the motor or the track or anything doesn't affect this anymore, and then stick it in place. Let's go ahead and get this speaker baffle screwed in. Then we went ahead and unclipped all these wires off of here. And you can just do that with your panel tool. Just reach in, get behind it, and it'll pop right off. Now we have our RoadKill black. We're going to go ahead. We've already made a hole in it. We're just going to go ahead and line this in like this. And start cutting it to fit. Remember, anytime you're doing sound deadening, you want to make sure you're on the inside of where the door is going to clip in, because you don't want to see this stuff once the door is on. That would be bad. You also don't want to go over any nuts or bolts or anything like that. So if the car has to be serviced, they can't, you know, you want to make sure it can still be serviced. All right, let's go ahead and pull this back off, and we'll get the backing off. Next, you want to put the inter foam ring in. So you just want to make sure that when the window rolls up and down, it's not hitting this foam ring either. Alright, so now it's time to get the speaker screwed in. Now we need to connect these wires together. This is the factory plug. What we want to do is find out which one of these two wires is negative and which one is positive. For that, we're just going to use a simple 9-volt. Let me show you. Go ahead and plug your speaker in. Take your 9-volt. The big side here is the negative, the small side is the positive. Tap it to the speaker. If the speaker moves up, that's the correct polarity. If it moves down, that's incorrect polarity. For this, the solid white is going to be positive, and we just need to hook that up to the positive of our speaker. Now, when doing these on the speakers, if you make one male and one female, you won't have to worry about plugging them in incorrectly, or if someone goes to service the car while you're not there, because it will only plug in one way. Now the last part of this equation is the outside ring. We just want to go ahead and stick that onto the door panel here. Now if you can stick it to the outside to where it's not covering the screws, great. Not always can you do that. You don't have, if you ever need to take the speaker out, you don't have to ruin this to do it. Just make sure it's on there nice and tight. Just keep pushing it in, rubbing the edges. Now depending on what kind of car you're putting on, you may need to cut this thinner, but on this particular vehicle, this marriages up really nice. We're done with this. We're gonna put the door panel back on and get on with the rear doors.